Hey. So I told him, like, your daughter's dead. I hate doing these.
I'm off the door after you hear last time.
No, that's okay.
So
I just talked to our family conflict detectives, and Paula was the victim of the homicide.
I saw a blurb. I was afraid of that. Have you guys heard anything from Chris? If he should come down there, do not let him in your house.
And so at first he just acted like, she was on a binge and had been drinking. And I said, okay, so, like, does she need to go to the ER? Do I need to come over? And he said, well, I can't continue to lie to you. I killed her.
This is how Lori realized her friend's gone, murdered by her own son, who decided to hang around with her dead body for 5 days. And if you think that's the worst of it, buckle up. And from this point on, every new detail only gets worse.
A lot of blood right here on this door. Yeah. So she got some bludgeoning, and the blood's coagulated and dried. So.
I think he's gone.
Hi, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my son, he's on probation, and he decided to leave and go get some alcohol and come back.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't hear the knock loud enough.
It's all right.
So I put a little note right here, and
Yeah,
when he
I saw
came
that.
back, he was mad. He was like knocking on the door, Mom, let me in. You didn't really call the police. Yeah, I did. And then he took off in his car, and you can see the oil spots from his.
Yeah, all right. Does he stay here with you?
Occasionally. He doesn't really have anywhere to live, so.
What's occasionally? Oh, little Jinxie might get out.
Oh, no, you can't go.
All right.
But when he's like violent towards me, what do I do?
Call the police. Put your phone on record while we're en route, so that way everything's recorded as far as what he does and says.
This was the final image of Paula Thompson alive. Everything would change after the door closed behind her. And not just Paula. The rescue cat in the home would also be seen alive for the very last time. On March 18, 2020, officers were dispatched to the 200 block of Pleasant View Drive in Des Moines for a welfare check at Paula Thompson's home.
Police!
226 TP. 226.
Hello, Des Moines Police!
What began as a simple welfare check was about to end in a horrifying discovery.
Police! We have a person down? Yeah, it's still dark. Hold traffic. We have a person down inside the house. We're looking for any other subject now. You can start medics. A lot of blood right here on this door. Yeah. Looks like she's been drug or moved. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's got settling. She's been down for a while. So she's got some bludgeoning, and the blood's coagulated and dried. So.
Do we just need medic to come in or not even?
I don't even think that it's pretty obvious.
The person behind Paula Thompson's death was her own son, Christopher Thompson, who couldn't keep the secret and ended up confessing to her friend.
Hello. I'm Detective Wilson. I'm going to be one of the detectives that's working this case. Sorry to have to be meeting you under these circumstances.
Me too.
I'm going to give just a little bit of information from you, just basic information, and then kind of go into some of the details, okay? All right, this is Detective Wilson. It is March 18th at 2:05 p.m. What's your first name?
Lori. Lorie.
And your last name?
Baker. Baker.
Okay. So I'll just have you start off just kind of how you got notified of this or involved with this, and then we'll just kind of work through how it all unfolded. Okay. So you work with Paula, is that correct?
I used to a long time ago, but we continued to be friends.
Okay. Was she currently working?
She is working at Nationwide.
She works at Nationwide?
Was working.
Okay.
She left Walmart just right after we moved into this building, so 2010.
Okay. And then when was the last time you talked to her?
That's what I was trying to see. I think it was Friday that she had called me. And because she got another job, she was losing her job, with all of the nationwide layoffs or whatever. And I can't even remember what I'm doing.
I think you're going to see when the last time you talked to her was.
Yeah, but I see me calling her. Okay, so March 6th, she called me and told me that she had gotten another job.
Okay.
And then we texted her. I texted her on, I think it was Saturday or.
Mm-hmm.
And and then Monday. And then she didn't answer me on Monday, and so then I contacted her again yesterday, and her boss had called me and said, and I sent her a message on Facebook Messenger because I tried to call her, and it just went right to her voicemail.
Okay.
Lori had just received horrific news, and the weight of what she carried into that interrogation room cannot be overstated. Lori must have had a million thoughts flooding her mind as she walked into the police station.
This was on Monday?
Yesterday. Yeah, so I tried to just contact her, and then I tried to contact her again yesterday, but then when she didn't, and then I tried to call her. And and I sent a message on Facebook. And then when I didn't hear from her, then I messaged Chris, both text and Chris Thompson, her son.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sent a Facebook message because I didn't hear back from him.
Mm-hmm.
So then he said, I don't know whether it was on text or Facebook anyway, he said that she had been drinking and that's why she didn't go to work. So I said, he needed to have her call me or, and call in because she never doesn't call in. I mean, so occasionally she'll go a few days kind of on a binge.
Okay.
That's were you the one saying about the sister Tammy?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. That somebody else had said that. So she has AA friends also, but
Paula does?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't know whether they were trying to get a hold of her or not. But anyway, that's all she really has. Her dad is estranged, and Christopher and his brother and Christopher lived there. So anyway, he had contacted me back and just said that she had been drinking, and so I tried texting her again, and I asked him to have her contact me, and then so then I think I messaged again this morning. Yeah. After the boss contacted me again, I messaged Chris again. And I said, her, we need to talk to her. And so then he called, and I wasn't right by my phone. So he had called a couple times. And then I saw that, he had called probably 30 minutes later or something and called him back. And so at first he just acted like, she was on a binge and had been drinking. And I said, okay, so does she need to go to the ER? Do I need to come over? What's going on? Her phone is going directly to voicemail and, is it not plugged in? I need to be able to talk to her. And he said, well, she's had a few bottles. And I said, so she's still drinking this morning? And he said, well, I can't continue to lie to you. I killed her. And then he just it's like he just paused, like that was also, I don't know, matter of factly.
Right.
And so I'm like, what? And he said, well, I killed her. We got in a fight and I hit her with a crowbar. And she's in the kitchen, I think is what he said. I can't.
Okay.
But, and I said, Chris, what are you saying? And he said, well, you just need to call the police and I'm going to prison forever because I killed her.
The killer, who emphasizes his suffering rather than the victim's, is already as guilty as he can get. Turning the crime into a personal downfall is one of the richest signs of self-involved violence.
Okay.
And that's all I know. So I hung up and called. But,
Okay.
you know, he has mental like issues.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
Too,
So just a
I
little
don't know
bit.
whether to believe it or not.
Right.
I guess I
Yeah. Well.
know now.
Yeah. So let's go back over the timeline just a little bit. So you last physically spoke to her March 6th on the phone, but then you texted her on Saturday and she responded.
I don't think she responded.
No. Okay.
Let's see. 3-5 text and then Monday I text her.
Monday.
And then yesterday.
Did she respond on Monday?
No.
Okay, so that the last time that you actually had a response from her was March 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you texted on Monday, but no response.
Right.
Was it? Was it typical for her not to respond, or was she pretty good about responding back to you?
She typically does, unless
Okay.
she had a bypass, so if she does drink, then she is not fully aware.
Okay.
So sometimes she would go for, a couple days.
Okay.
And
so you texted Monday with no response.
And then called yesterday.
Today's Wednesday. Okay. So then when did her work get a hold of you?
They had called yesterday morning.
To you?
Yeah.
Okay. And who from her work?
It's Steve.
Steve?
Yeah.
You know his last name?
Oh, I wrote it down at home, but I didn't bring it.
Okay.
And I also actually have his number too, but I didn't bring it with me. He's at Nationwide.
Is that her boss?
Yeah.
Do you know what department she worked in?
Commercial something. No.
Okay. So you have his info back at your house?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to text to somebody or call with it or email it or something?
Yeah, I can give you my contact information before we leave, and just have you call. So he called you. Do you know what time he called you? Do you have that log?
I'm sure I do. Well, actually, this should be his number, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, sorry, that one's United Life. Yeah, so I think this should be it.
She worked from home, so when Paula Thompson didn't answer calls or emails for days, alarm bells should have been deafening. Right now on my Patreon, you can watch one of the most disturbing scenes ever recorded on an interrogation room surveillance camera. It's a combination of desperation and carelessness that resulted in something incredibly shocking. This video is not suitable for sensitive viewers, as it is extremely unsettling. You won't find it on YouTube, but you can watch it and many more exclusive videos on patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
I'm her emergency contact.
Okay.
She really didn't have anybody else.
And he said that she hasn't been to work in.
Right.
How long did he say? Or do you remember?
He said he hadn't heard from her. I don't know.
Okay, we can follow up with him.
And then he called again this morning, except I don't see that on here. Maybe it went directly to voicemail.
Okay. So then he calls yesterday morning, says I haven't heard from her. Then you immediately call her, and it doesn't even ring.
No, it just went to
Okay.
voicemail.
Do you know what time you made that call?
Sorry, I'm trying to work out my dad's estate and my mom, and so I've had a lot of calls, unfortunately. Okay, so I called Tuesday at 9:30
a.m. 9:30? Okay. Did you try calling her any more that day? Yesterday?
No, I think just a message, and then I Facebook messaged her, and I actually checked to see if she had been on Messenger or on Facebook. Tuesday at 11:40. Then I had tried to message her on Facebook, on Messenger. And then I had contacted Chris.
When did you first contact him? That was just by text, right?
Well, I texted and then I sent it on Messenger because he didn't get back to me. So Tuesday at 10:07 p.m. So I said, is everything okay? Trying to contact you and your mom, but not getting through. He says, yes, everything is okay. Mom has been drinking all day. And I said, her boss is worried that she has not checked in. Why is she drinking? And he said, because she's trying not to drink. I mean, she's been doing so much better. He says she has been drunk since Friday, saying she hates me, hates her job, wants to sell the house. I'm just leaving her alone.
Okay.
So I said, she just got a new job. Please have her check in with her boss before she doesn't have a job and contact me so I know she's okay. So he said, I will. And then we just like chat type of thing. Like, how are you doing? And which he seems completely normal, which he seemed completely normal on the phone when I first talked to him.
Is he working right now?
No.
He doesn't work? Okay.
He either got fired or quit.
He was unemployed, living off his mom, and somehow he was convinced that she's the problem.
Where was he working?
He worked at the cold storage, and then he started somewhere else and didn't like it. And I can't remember what place that was, but then it's been probably a couple months.
Okay.
But he has like a felony, like he's, so with the record, it's really hard
to get a
for
job.
him. So.
Do you know, does he have any other relatives or anybody in the area or friends?
Just his dad. I don't know about friends. He did live with a guy and his girlfriend for a little while, but I don't know that they're still friends. Bill Thompson or William Thompson. I have his number too.
Yeah, what's his number?
So before I go on to that, the text to Chris was yesterday at 9:30 a.m. So I just
Yesterday or today?
Hmm.
Oh, you said you texted him at like 10 something last night.
No, I sent him a message on Messenger.
Oh, okay.
This was the text before that, and he didn't respond to it. So then I sent the message last night saying, nobody's responding to me.
Okay.
So this one was yesterday morning, and just saying that his mom's phone was going to voicemail, and I haven't heard from her.
Okay. Would William Thompson be someone that he would go to?
They don't get along well either.
Okay.
So you're saying he's not in custody?
We have not located Chris right now, no. So that's obviously the big deal right now.
So 515.
At this point, Christopher was still on the loose, and every hour that passed made the chase feel more critical. Based on the details so far, he wasn't in the right state of mind.
Yeah, and that's Bill Thompson. You know, honestly, I mean, I was really the only one, like, they came to, you know, holidays and stuff at my house because they didn't have anywhere else.
Okay.
So, but I can't imagine that he would come to my house after telling me that. So I don't know where he would go.
You don't know if there are any like normal hangout spots that he has, or
No, he does a lot of the online. Let me look on his, see if there's
just like
anybody on here.
a best friend, or
I don't know if anybody, like, he does a bunch of the, you know, game stuff, and I don't know
Online
crap
gamer.
about that, so.
right.
But I don't see anybody else, like,
Commenting
talking
or
back,
anything,
but
right.
I don't know really how that works.
Right.
So here's Bill telling him there's a hiring fair. Yeah, I don't see anybody else on here. I could tell you who his friends are, though, on Facebook anyway.
And he lives.
He lives with.
He lives with her. Okay.
Paul. Yeah. Before we go on, can I say that there is a cat there that's one of our rescue cats.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's going on at the house, but I need to like get the cat out of there.
Okay.
So
yeah, when right now,
I don't know if
obviously
anybody
we have
else
to,
can like
yeah, we have
even
to, we have
get
to
her.
process the scene and everything, and then once we're done with that, and if we get the cat, we can make arrangements. I don't know exactly.
Well, I have a key to our house. I mean,
Okay.
And I have a carrier in my car.
Okay.
Can somebody? I don't know when she's been fed last. If Paula isn't.
Yeah, guess I don't know the details on that either, but we can definitely make arrangements once we're all done down there to make sure that the cat is taken care of.
You might think the horror stops with Paula, but what happened to her rescue cat is pure, deliberate evil. You'll hear it soon, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about his mind.
Anything else you can think of that would help us be able to locate him, or where to start?
Well, Bill would know probably the contact information for his brother, but he is out of state, so I don't know if he would contact him or
What's
not.
his brother's name?
Oh my gosh. It'll come to me.
Sorry, we can probably get it through Bill. Do you think you'd call or contact Bill?
I really highly doubt it.
No other,
I can't think of what his name is.
That's all right. No other cousins or aunts, uncles?
They didn't have anything to do with them.
Okay.
And I think it's his or her dad has like a sister, like it'd be Paula's aunt.
You said that he had.
But they don't get along.
You said he had kind of some mental issues.
Chris.
Yeah. Do you know what specifically?
So when he went to jail because he like started a fire.
Okay.
Trying to burn the house down at her house.
How long ago was that?
Many years, but
Okay.
8 years. I don't.
Okay.
I think it was after she wasn't at Wellmark, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Okay.
Anyway, he went to jail for a couple years at least, and then when he got out, then she like allowed him to stay with her. I think he was with her dad for a little bit, but. And then she, swore that they would, get along fine. And there was another guy there for a while, her boyfriend for a while. And so I thought everything was going to be okay, but I was always like skeptical that, it was a good, situation. And, I talked to her about it in length many times. And
do you know, was he diagnosed with anything?
Well, he was on medication for a while. I don't know what, but I don't think he like continued that.
Okay. You don't know what
But
it's
he
for.
was also before doing meth. So I'm not sure whether that was the whole ordeal with the fire or, just him being off of his meds. Whenever he is around me, I mean, he came to my house and helped with like cat chores and stuff, and I would pay him for, helping out for several hours on the weekends. And that was been, probably more like a year or two ago, before he got the cold storage job.
Okay.
And he was like mild mannered and always very respectful.
Okay.
And the same way at holidays,
Okay.
you would never know that there's really another, side of him that
Okay.
Paula saw,
Okay.
part
So,
of the time. But
we're talking about like his mental state and stuff. It's not like he can care for himself. He's held a job before.
yes.
He's able to make decisions as far as you know. I mean, he knows.
Yes, he's just a little mentally slow, I guess.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the correct technical term of it is, but I mean, he's not.
Do you know if he's ever been like hospitalized for his mental health?
He got
like that?
a lot of the mental health treatment when he was like in jail.
Okay.
He was like in Polk County jail.
Right.
Like they never like sent him to prison. It was
Okay.
like a couple year thing in there.
Okay.
But so they were supposed to help, a lot with that. But they tended to do pretty well if she like wasn't drinking. But
Okay.
they were
Has she ever expressed
really
fear to you, like about him before?
not since the whole fire thing.
So not
and
for
then
a long time.
she really thought that it would be fine
Okay.
with him like moving back in because she wasn't drinking.
Okay.
But I think probably the last few months have really taken its toll. I mean, I have no doubt if she's passed away, he would be the one that
Okay.
would have been there with her. And
Was there
I don't
any-
know why he
Did
would
anybody
say
else live at the house?
no.
And then I know you mentioned a past boyfriend. How
That was quite a while ago, and then there was one in between.
any issues with them that you know of?
The last one was like an abusive relationship. The first one was an abusive relationship, but the last one, him and Chris got into it also.
Okay.
And then he left.
How long ago
So
was that?
I would say it was in the last 6 months, but I could tell by her Facebook page. Like she would have posted, she posted several posts about him on there.
Do you know what their names were?
I should, but right now, I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Okay.
The one went to jail for, beating her up. And I think he's probably still in jail. I'm not positive.
Okay.
But then the second one, I think, left on his own. And after him and Chris got into it.
Okay. Do you know if there was any current drug use with Chris?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
She did say something after Christmas when, like, she had suggested, like, a movie package for me to, get him. So I did, like, a basket with, the popcorn and candy. And and then instead of getting him, like a couple movies, because I have no idea, what he would want to watch, I just put $10 in there for him to, rent or buy. And then she said that, to be sure not to give him money because he spent it on alcohol, which is the first time that I ever knew that he was actually drinking at all.
Okay.
So we did a lot of texting back and forth when she was not drinking, then a lot of times she was like doing the AA meetings,
Right.
like a lot. And I don't know, I'm not comfortable dealing with that because I don't know how to deal with it.
Okay.
And I don't know, anything about it, but like she would get a sponsor and,
Right.
and so then, she would be with them quite a bit.
Okay. All right, let me step out for a second.
I know she did get my information for like executor and like for her work. I want to say the 401k or something.
Okay.
I don't remember. She just asked for my information and said she was going to put me, down.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let me step out for a second and then see if we have any.
Can I notify
questions.
anybody?
Let me double check on that before you do that, and then to make sure we don't need to, or who we do need to notify.
Do you want me to try to call Chris to see if he would answer? I mean, I kind of doubt he would.
Possibly. Let me check with my supervisors first, and then yeah, we might try that here in a second. Okay.
Christopher had documented learning disabilities, but that doesn't explain the history of violence. Arson attempts and violent outbursts were clear signs that he should never have lived with the very woman he resented most. So detectives had to turn to the last card in their deck to locate him and came up with a plan. They were about to ask Lori to bait him in a sting. Quick heads up, there's a full collection of true crime-inspired merch available now at strangerlabel.com. You'll find premium t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, and more, each piece designed with bold detail and a dark, investigative edge. Head over to strangerlabel.com and check out the full lineup. Now let's get back to the case.
I was trying to find the name of. It looks like she deleted all the posts from the last relationship, but it was in June of 2019.
Okay, so almost a year ago. Okay.
And the one before that was like a couple years before that, and he.
Did she have any brothers or sisters, Lori?
No.
Okay.
No, just her.
And then did Chris have any brothers or sisters?
Just the one.
Just the one brother.
Yeah.
But out of state.
Yeah.
Do you know what state?
I want to say Kansas.
Okay.
But I see his son Jace, but it doesn't say his name. And I don't know why I can't remember right now, but I'm
It's okay.
obviously upset.
Yeah.
And it's not coming to me,
Yeah,
just
no,
like
that's
the
fine.
boyfriend before that, because
Yeah.
went to the court date and everything with her, and
Right.
still can't think of what his name is, but anyway,
Okay. Would you be willing to try calling Chris?
I can try.
So before we call him, I guess we don't want to obviously he probably knows that we're looking for him, but if you wanted to kind of just play it off like, hey, are you still at the house type thing? If he says no, where are you at then? Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Do I need to call somebody? Maybe just play it off like that. He might already know that we've been notified and stuff, but kind of just see.
Well, he asked me to, so I'm assuming
Right.
he would think I would.
Or
but...
just say, like, you haven't heard anything, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Can you put on speaker?
And I don't know that he has voicemail. I think
The Magic Jack customer you have called is unavailable.
Would
I am not.
Would he have her phone with him?
I don't know.
Try calling that one too,
I
maybe.
can try.
Please leave your message for 5-1.
Okay. I'm gonna have another detective come in. He's gonna go over kind of a list of people who you think we might need to contact or notify, and then you guys can kind of go over that on what you guys think is the best route to handle that. Okay. So just sit tight, and then he'll be in here in just a minute. Okay.
The sting didn't work, and now came the hardest part, telling Paula's family.
I hate doing these.
Hi, I locked the door after you were here last time.
No, that's okay. So I just talked to our family conflict detectives, and Paula was the victim of the homicide.
I saw a blurb. I was afraid of that.
And so Detective Mitchell, who is one of our family conflict detectives, he's getting a victim services advocate, and they're on their way out here now.
Okay.
But they asked, since I was already here and talked to you, that I'd be willing to notify you.
Sure, I appreciate that. I want to give you a couple of phone numbers also.
Absolutely.
You guys want to step in?
It's up to you.
Well, you're welcome to come in.
Hand sanitizer if you want.
I'm planning. Yeah, they stock us up.
Have you guys heard anything from Chris? If he should come down there, do not let him in your house. Okay? Well, I've got a police officer here standing here with me, and they think he was involved in a homicide. They're investigating it, and the homicide is Adam's mom. It's Paula.
He doesn't even look surprised. He looks like a man who'd been bracing for this call for years. And what's more even heartbreaking is that even Paula, on some level, saw it coming.
Is Paula's vehicle, is it an SUV or is it like a truck style?
It's the truck, blue, with the shorter cab on the end.
Okay.
Chris is driving a PT Cruiser.
Okay.
That I don't know if it's been switched to his name or if it would still be under his grandfather's name.
So
or
Paula's,
if it's out in
Paula's
front.
vehicle actually has like the short, like truck bed or whatever, and then the cab for
Yeah.
like the SUV one. Okay, and then we got some names just off Chris's Facebook page that he has like listed as his relatives. Do you know of any of these people, if they're actually like his aunts or cousins? Do you recognize any of those
Sue
names?
sounds familiar, so yeah.
Okay.
That would be, but they have not been going there, so
Okay.
yeah,
Any of these other ones jump out at you? Or?
no,
Okay.
and none of those are his brother.
Okay.
So I was trying to see, his brother must not be on Facebook because he's not like in Paula's friends.
Right.
I can't think of what the heck his name is. I've never even actually met him because he moved out of state, but they look exactly the same.
Okay.
Like him and Chris are
Twins.
well, they're twins and they're identical twins. I mean, you can barely tell.
Okay. All right, let me see if that other detective is come in here. What the plan is?
Can I step out and go to this?
Yeah.
Paula Thompson had survived everything, including abusive partners and heartbreak, rebuilding her life again and again. She endured years of abuse, escaped relationships that could have killed her, only to die at the hands of her own child.
You need water or anything?
A water would be great.
Okay.
I did remember the brother's name is Adam.
Adam? Okay.
And then it's Bill, and his wife's name is Barr
Okay.
Thompson.
Yeah, I think we were able to get a hold of Bill. Okay. I'll grab you some water here in a second. Yeah, can you grab one? Thanks.
My car is gonna run out at the meter. contact you. Are we gonna be much longer?
I'll if you do get it taken, I'll take care of that. But no, it shouldn't be too much longer.
Okay.
The detective that was going to talk to you about notifying people and stuff like that, he's still down with Bill and them. So I got your contact information. I'll just have him get a hold of you if that's okay.
Okay.
And then I'll have you. Are you going to head home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would like to go get the cat. How can I do that?
Okay. It's going to be several hours before we're able to get in there to take care of the cat. So.
So somebody will call.
Yeah, I will make a note, and when they're finished up at the house,
You need more how I got put somebody said it, so.
I'll get a hold of you, and then figure it out that way. I'm sure that it was just hiding, but I didn't see it whenever I went in the house. I was only in the house for a brief minute, so.
I don't know if it will come out for anybody
Right.
else, like with a bunch of stuff going on.
Right, okay.
But
So once we get that all cleared away, then we'll make arrangements, for you to get the cat, okay?
so is it like stuff to clean up?
Yeah, there's gonna be
Is it
some.
really bad?
I mean, it's not good, but yeah, I mean, there is going to be some stuff to clean up, unfortunately. So,
I never really thought he would ever do anything like this.
yeah, I mean, nobody ever complained for anything like this, so.
Okay, so did you want me to contact you about the
Yeah, if
bosses?
you can get the boss's name, the phone number that he called you on, it's just like a generic number for Nationwide.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So, if you could just get his name, and then we'll contact Nationwide and get a hold of him that way. And you can.
And let you know.
Yeah, let me get,
The house was a mess, and the killer was gone until he showed up at a jail on his own, confessing to what he'd done with a calmness that would shock the officers. In the next episode, you'll hear how his hatred for his mother turned into a confession you won't forget.
There was a blood just go leaking out, and then I hit her a few more times and she just stopped moving. I didn't see anything else, but just I wanted it to be over, and so I just kept hitting her.
Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content and want to support the channel, there is a Patreon link in the description below. You'll be able to watch videos with 0 ads and some that are too controversial for YouTube, and you'll be supporting the channel at the same time. Thanks again for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.